All right, the first batch of quarterfinals are in the books, and Tsitsipas, Azarenka, Khachanov, and Rybakina, Elena Rybakina, I've gotten that right, are through into the semifinals. So we're going to break down their matches, how they went, what they did well, and what I think about the semifinal matchups kind of from these quarterfinals. And yeah, day one of the quarterfinals in the books, like I said, and they were good. They were good. One injury in it, but let's talk about it. Here's the slice. That's right, people. On Twitter yesterday, I went, rybakina. On the WTA website, she says it for herself, and I'll just play it here, and I'll see if we can even get if you can even hear it. The way she says it. 1 second. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Elena Rybakina.
Rybakina. Anyways, Elena Rybakina, one of the winners yesterday. I've gotten that pronunciation right. Most people don't get it right, although Mark Rowe of TSN has been getting it right because he's a legend and he crushes it on the TSN broadcast. So if you're in Canada, you obviously know that. So who won yesterday? Tsitsipas. Let's start with old Stefanos Margot Robbie loving Stefanos Tsitsipas, who almost got defaulted yesterday because he basically almost hit a ball boy. It was kind of close. I think he saw the ball kid and knew he wasn't going to hit him. I don't know. Obviously dangerous to be doing. It's like basically like you're fine until you hit someone and then you're not fine. But we'll see. We'll see. So anyways, Stefanos played a great match yesterday. Wins in 3 versus Jiří Lehečka. And yeah, my theory with him, because typically on a quicker court, Stefanos has struggled throughout his career, grass being one of them. But these balls being flatter, I think my theory is that it gives him more time, which is perfect for him. But then he's able to hit so big and he can flatten it out that he can hit through the court, but the balls are slower, so he has more time. So it's like helps him in both ways. That's just my theory. But anyways, he's been playing great. He's had a great tournament, semifinal run here at Australia. Even if he loses, obviously it'd be disappointing for him. But he's got a great chance to make the final. And after a bad 2022 as far as majors go, he made the semifinals here last year. This is a good start to the year for him, for sure. And clearly he's the favorite to beat Khachanov to make the final, which would be huge for him. And it would be his first real kick at the Canada major since he lost in the final of Roland Garros 2021 after being up 2 sets to love on Novak Djokovic. So yeah, great form for him. I think he's playing well. I think he feels very comfortable out there right now. Little bit deader balls potentially helping him. That's my theory. What do you guys think about that? Jiří Lehečka, what a tournament from him. I'm just looking at the live rankings here, and Lehečka is up to 39th, and he'll be 39 in the world, around 39 in the world next week after his crazy run here. So he's up 32 spots. So he was like 70 in the world to 39. That's a big difference as far as what tournaments you're going to get into, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So Tsitsipas through. That's great. Good win for him. Azarenka defeats Pegula. Vizca Azarenka, 10 years since her last Australian Open semifinal. She's had a child. She's had a lot of other crazy things go down, I think. I haven't followed it too personally. But what I do know is she does still have the worst tennis grunt. It's more like a tennis screech in the game. It's the worst. I hate listening to it. Almost makes her matches unwatchable, in my opinion, because she's literally screaming every time she hits the ball. And it's ridiculous. Anyways, that's my personal opinion on her sound, but her game, great. She was able to get ahead of Pegula in each set yesterday and not let Pegula get on top. She got out early breaks and she played, taking the balls early. Her strategy or her ability to hit through the court hasn't changed. She's taking these balls early, and throughout the tournament, I've seen players who take the ball earlier and more aggressively with control are having success with these balls and on these courts. So Vika gets through Pegula, who Pegula was playing really, really good tennis. So that's pretty big for Azarenka to make the semifinals, where she will play Elena Rybakina. No one says that right. Am I right? Nobody says that right, basically. Rybakina. The most disrespected. Somebody did call me out for I think it was one of our friends of the show. I respect it. He said I was calling wait, be careful. Rybakina, the most disrespected, uncelebrated Wimbledon champion ever, and then I was going and butchering her name, which is fair. So I went and learned it for sure. I've got a scarf today. I don't know if anyone noticed that. Looks fresh. Anyways, Elena Rybakina beats Yelena Ostapenko in the quarterfinals. And Rybakina, again, got out early. Her serve is the most dominant serve in the women's game. And then she's taking the balls early, and she's able to move and hit backhands. So she's just playing great tennis. It would not shock me if she wins this tournament. And then she'd have won 2 slams in the last 12 months. She'd hold 2 of the titles, which would be crazy. So we'll see. But she played great to come through Ostapenko, who was clowning it out there in her clown outfit, but also arguing calls with the virtual line umpires, which is just not going to happen. So she was doing that all match. Clown Town behavior, Clown Town outfit to match, but great match there. Elena Rybakina. Don't start now, Steven. Let's play it one more time. I'm forgetting it. Rybakina. She says it's so nice. Anyways, she's through to the semifinals to play Victoria Azarenka. The last person through actually was the first person through, the second player match through of the night, whatever, was Karen Khachanov, who makes his second major semifinal in as many tournaments. Great for him. Beats Sebastian Korda, was thoroughly beating Sebastian Korda, and then Korda's wrist started to flare up and caused some problems. Then he ended up withdrawing after he was down 2 sets, which makes sense. Obviously, you do not want to mess with the wrist as a tennis player. I heard, though, that Korda switched to a Wilson blade. Although I thought he was playing, I'm pretty sure he's been playing with this from someone. Someone on Twitter said that, and now his wrist is injured. I also found out about the Korda family, and now I haven't looked into it too much, but I did read articles that his father, Peter Korda, everyone talks about how he won the Australian Open, 30 years ago. Peter Korda also got banned from playing for taking steroids. He got caught using steroids, and he denied it, and then he just retired before the penalty set in. So that's a little bit suspect, but I'm going to look into that more. But no one, I've literally never heard anyone talk about that on TV other than just how amazingly athletic the family is. So if true, that's scandalous, and it's not a great athletic family then, in my opinion. Well, the kids are all great, but a little bit shady past there. But might not be true, so we will see. But it is widely reported and still an unsolved case, or I guess. But he did get banned, but then he retired before that set in. So, anyways, back to this year's Australian Open. Korda out to Khachanov, Lehechka out to Tsitsipas. So now Tsitsipas versus Khachanov. Let's look up their head-to-head quickly while I'm doing some ninja work here. Tsitsipas versus Khachanov. Head-to-head is 5-0 for Tsitsipas. So big advantage Tsitsipas. The last time they played was in Rome on the outdoor clay, and Stefanos came from behind there to win 6-0, 6-3 in the last 2 sets. Tsitsipas owns his head-to-head, and I expect him to get through. So the big question is, in my last video I asked it, is anybody going to stop Djokovic and Tsitsipas from meeting in the final of Australia? It looks unlikely to me, and it continues to look unlikely. Although Khachanov, playing the way he has, he made the semifinals of the U.S. Open, and he's in the semifinals here, and he's got a huge game. He's got a huge serve, huge game. If he can stay on the front foot and get in Stefanos' head, you never know. So it's not going to be a walk in the park. Stefanos, I think and would hope that he's not going to take this match for granted. Doesn't look like he would be, but he might be thinking about Margot Robbie, because he gave a pretty funny shout out to her. So we'll see if she shows up. Well, I mean, she probably won't. She's probably in the States. Australia's a long way away. But, crazier things have happened. So anyways, Azarenka versus Elena Rybakina in the semifinals as well. That's going to be interesting. Both aggressive players. Both can pack a serious punch. So we'll see. I've got a good feeling about rybakina though. So she's my pick to go through, but we'll break down more of the semifinals when they're all set and when that happens. So anyways, that's the show. There's nothing else to really talk about. I guess we could quickly talk about the schedule for today. Let's look at it. Day 10, first up on Rod Laver Arena, Pliskova versus Lynette. That was broken down in our women's quarterfinal preview by Karina Mustafa on the channel. Go watch that if you haven't yet. Sabalenka versus Vekic. I'm excited for that one. That's going to be very cool. Vekic story of the tournament on the women's side, one of, and Sabalenka is the odds favorite to win the tournament, and she's my pick from before the tournament to win. So it's going to be heavily favored Sabalenka there, but we'll see. So then we got Shelton versus Paul after that, and then of course Rublev versus Djokovic, the night session. It's going to be a late one, but 4 great matches on Rod Laver Arena. Yeah, you got to love it. That's the Australian Open. You got to love it. To recap, Tsitsipas through. Elena Rybakina through. Hachanov. Karen through. With the goofy 2000-looking shoes through. And Victoria Azarenka through. That is the quarterfinal day 1 update. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not. That helps us out. It helps you out as a tennis fan because then you become smarter, and we all want to be smarter tennis fans. So we'll see you guys on Twitter. At the Slice Steven on Twitter is where I'm tweeting out my trash takes, my fire, and getting corrected on. I made a tweet talking about Rybakina's pronunciation, and then I literally spelt it out wrong. So, that's the fun you can see over on our Twitter. Thanks for checking out the articles we were putting out on our website and everything else. All the links below. We'll see you guys next time here on The Slice, and we'll send you out with this.